Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester. And let me tell you why. And you are too. But let me tell you why, because I don't really know what's going on with you, but I do know what's going on with me. um, don't mind my background. I just was finding the best light in the house. So there's some things that probably need to be picked up, but it's all good. Nonetheless, life gets so much easier. Your goals, your dreams, your desires get so much easier when you trust the process. And I say this because you ever had to go into something kicking and screaming, or something was playing out in your life that you did not like the way it was happening, and you felt like the only way that you could avoid these things from happening at another time in your life was to fight against it or rail against it, right? And then you realized there was nothing you could do at all. It was going to happen anyway. And then you were like, well, wait, this wasn't so bad. It is just what I needed. That's crazy. Maybe I shouldn't have been all fussy in the first place. But I don't think we can avoid that feeling that we have when we don't feel like things are going the way we want them to go, or we feel like things are going off the rails and we start, panicking a little bit. It's like, oh no, this is not exactly what I want. Because when something does happen that you were like, I just didn't want this to happen, I just didn't want this to be, and then it turns out to be great, you feel even more grateful and even more relieved than what you did the first time around. I mean, than what you did if you had just fallen into it and said, okay, this is fine, this is just exactly where I want to be. Because I don't think you can hide from your emotions. So even if you outwardly say, this is great, this is exactly what I wanted to happen. Somebody steals your vehicle. This is great. This is exactly what I wanted to happen. You don't know that when they total it out, the car is going to be worth so much money that you're able to go buy exactly the car that you wanted and then only have to put maybe a couple of $1,000s with it or something like that. You're just like, this really worked out in my favor. I don't think that you can avoid the negative feelings that comes along with things that you feel like that are turning out negative in your life. But what's most interesting about all of that stuff is that it is all a part of process. And we think when something negative to us happens, it's just going to keep on being a downward spiral. We're going to lose control of it. We take our eye off our desires and our dreams and goals for one day, and then everything's falling apart. But that is not how it works, right? It's a steady deposit of seeds over time, over and over again. So even if you have a day where you're not paying attention to it or you're not on top of it, if you had 30 days where you were, it's not going to change your momentum, right? Same goes the opposite way around. If you had 30 days of not having your eyes on the prize or not being devoted to your desires, and you have one day of I really did a lot today, and you don't see any results from it, it doesn't really work like that, right? And then what we have to remember too is when all that stuff is happening, we don't have a bird's eye view of what's going on in our life and our space. We are co-creating with everything around us, right? So when we trust the process, we're saying that we're giving our power over to the fact that we don't know what's going to be best for us. We know the feelings we want to have, and we know what we want to accomplish at the end of the day. And those things, as we know, it can't be tied to specific people, specific places, because those things are interchangeable in our lives. Now, mind you, we can focus on a place and go, I really like it here. This is beautiful. This is great. We can focus on a person. I really like it. This is beautiful. This is great. But it doesn't mean that that feeling that we have connected to them or that place or that thing is going to always come through that specific avenue, right? So that's why I'm just getting the idea of trust the process. Trust when things don't look that great or they look shady and you've been putting in the right work, the time, the energy, the meditation, saying the right prayers, being in the right environments, having the right attitudes. These things are true, but you see something that's contrary to that in your environment and you just get all caught up in it and let it completely shift and change your mindset and who you are. And you're really wasting your time because you got to know that your positive and clearest and most truest desires are always at the forefront. Also, have you ever had something in your life work out to be so perfectly that you knew that if you tried to do it on your own, it wouldn't have happened? It wouldn't have happened. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but a couple of years ago, I guess it was 2019 at this point, so I guess it was 3 years ago, I went through a time of not having a position, a job, or not having income, because I have several streams of income, but everything dried up all at once. And I was like, dang, what's happening, right? And I was like, no, it's going to work out. Everything always does, because, that's the way I'm like a cat. I land on my feet, but it was not working out. And it went months and months. And I was so grateful because it was the summertime, so my daughters were away. And I was like, I was watching things out of my life just fall one by one by one. I was like, what is happening? What is happening? And so at the time, I don't have a car note anymore, but this is why. At the time, I had a car note. And well, if everything not going like it's supposed to, that's one of the first things that's got to go, right? So like that was on the back burner. And, every day I was thinking, I called him and said, come pick up this vehicle. I can't pay it. I was very, because I didn't want anybody to snatch anything from me. I wanted to be in charge of it. And they were like, okay, yes. If, when they decide that your payments are too far behind, they will come, blah, blah, blah. And it was like a couple of months, maybe like 3 months, and then still nothing, right? And then I got a call, and all the time I was on edge. I was like, if they don't come get this vehicle, I want them to take it, because I don't want to walk outside one day and expect to get into it and it's gone, right? I wanted to be in control. That was my biggest thing. And I really had no control, so I really just needed to let it go. And so somebody called me at work one day, and mind you, I hadn't been answering the phone calls because I was just like, they already know. I told them I'm not working right now. And so when I finally did get a position or something, I was at that place one day and I got a phone call, and I must have owed like $25,000 left on the vehicle, right? And they were just like, oh, we see you having trouble paying your bill. I was like, blah, blah, blah. I already called and said that, I don't mind if they repossess it. It's fine. It's dandy. Come to the place and come get it. This is where it's at. This is where I'm at. Come get it. Do you know this woman said, but we like to offer you a settlement offer first, right? I had been working all of 1 month at that time. Not enough to catch up on all that. I was catching up on everything else. The car was the last thing. I was like, there's Uber. I'll figure it out. My mom had an extra vehicle. I was like, I'll borrow hers. That's just what it was. Do you know these people called and told me, we have a settlement offer for you. And I was like, a settlement? Okay, then what is it? Because I was like, I don't have nothing anyway. It don't really matter what the settlement offer is. This lady said like $4,259. I thought I heard her wrong. I owed like $25,000 on this vehicle. And I was like, wait, give me a moment. Let me step outside. So I got the phone. I was like, so what was the settlement you said? She said $4,259. I was like, 4,000? What? I own my vehicle to this day for that reason. Like, I haven't had a car note in years for that reason. But on the outside looking in, anybody would be like, oh, her life is falling apart. She's about to lose her vehicle. She lost this. She lost that. She lost this. And the whole while, it was being worked out for me. The whole while, God was like, okay, let me let her squirm, right? So she can see how much control she don't have, right? And I just gave into it. I was like, I don't have no control. Take it. Take all of it. Take it. Take it. Take it. It's just stuff, whatever. I'll get it back. That lady told me $4,259. Now, mind you, I didn't have that either. But the point was, I could see it. And then when she said, we'll give you 6 months to pay it off in 6 payments, I was like, and the first payment was on the first payday that I had coming. It didn't get better than that. So all them 2-3 months that I was like squirming and thinking, oh, all my dreams gone out the window. I don't have anything. All my stuff is leaving me. Still trying to, give myself the benefit, giving myself the old pep talk and like, you're good. You're good. You don't need these things. You're good. You're good. And then having to break it to my daughter saying, guess what? We don't have a vehicle, but we'll get another one, kind of thing. I hated the idea of all of that kind of stuff. And when I tell you, I made them look payments so fast. And then she said, now that you're agreeing to this settlement, where do you want your title to be sent? I have the title to this day. I couldn't have planned to do that. You couldn't have planned to do that. If I had tried to plan to do that, those people would have been knocking on my door the first time I was late 5 days and said, give me that car. So at the time, what it taught me more than anything was that, first of all, You don't always need the money, because we don't really need the money. We need the stuff that the money brings, right? You don't always have to have the money. You can skip the money process in so many instances. And then also, too, it taught me that trust and process is the most important aspect of going after dreams and desires and trying to be on the right path of manifesting the life that you choose and creating surroundings that complement that beauty in your life every single day. If we can remember, trust the process, and it's like that angst and anxiety about stuff and things, it had to be cleaned out of me. Like you can't tempt me now. I don't have any connection to stuff and things the way that I did back then. Like, it's fine, take it. I don't care, take it. I don't care. Because I see how quickly it is for stuff to accumulate back into your life and space. And when I tell you, when that little title came in the mail, it was proof to me that I do not have a bird's eye view. I could not have planned that. I couldn't have created it. I couldn't have even tried to manipulate a system to make that work for me. That was purely the universe, God, whatever you call it, coming into action and putting everything into place. And from my view, all I could see was the lack. But from the other side, he was like, I got you. You good. Keep on going to work. Keep driving that little vehicle. Keep getting up, doing your affirmations. Keep meditating. Keep believing for the best. I got you. So anyway, that's my message today. That story came out the blue. I forgot all about that. I forget it and remember it all the time. Trust the process. Even when it doesn't look pretty, you know you've been putting in the work. You know you've been having your mind in the right place. Trust when people leave your life. Trust when they come into your life when you're in the right space and what they've come to teach you. Trust when things leave your life. Trust when they stay, that it wasn't you that calculated that. That was the universe and God. That was all of that lining up for you to have what you needed to have in order to get to your next level. Trust, trust, trust. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful day.